So, Richard, we just found out this news. Shaun White was going for history today. He comes up short, comes in 4th place in the men's halfpipe. What's your reaction?
Pretty stunning. And how are you, Maggie, by the way? And I can't proclaim to be a halfpipe expert. I think we have one on staff, Austin Murphy. But it's pretty stunning. I mean, you're talking about a guy who has dominated the halfpipe for such a long time, was going to be he and Shani Davis, the two Americans, going for a three-peat here. That's never been done by a U.S. Winter Olympian. And it will not be Shaun White, who comes in 4th. Watching him on the first run, he crashed twice. That was pretty stunning. And then, not a clean run on his second run. And it just feels like the end of an era. Again, I think so many casual fans have gotten to know this guy through NBC. And when they watch this tonight in primetime, if they're not aware of it now, I think they're really going to be stunned to see that he comes in 4th place when all is said and done.
Richard, with Shaun White becoming the star that he did and really the face of American snowboarding, if he never competes in another another Olympic Games, what's the legacy that he leaves on the sport?
I would be surprised if he ever competes in Olympic Games again. He's 27. He'd be 31, and again, I'm no halfpipe expert, but it's very clear that the stars of the sport are coming, including Hiroka of Japan, who is 15. He got a bronze here. Hirano, I should say, of Japan. He's 15. He got a bronze here. Hiroka got a bronze, and then I can't pronounce this guy's name from Switzerland, but the kid that they call iPod is your gold medalist. So it's very clear, I think, that the future of the sport arrived here in Sochi, and I think White's legacy is still great. He's a 2-time gold medalist. He, to me, put the halfpipe into the popular culture with his victories in the Olympics. And I think he's, intentionally and smartly become a brand. He sort of moved on from his iconoclast roots and is, in the sort of same way Tony Hawk did. He's become part of our popular culture. So I think his legacy is fine, but I do think today marks, at least in terms of his athletic competition, the end of an era. I think the future basically arrived in halfpipe today in Sochi.
Richard, there have been complaints about the conditions of the halfpipe in Sochi. How much do you think that played in to Shaun White missing a medal completely?
It's a good question, Maggie, because a lot of people on the pipe today were slipping. We saw a lot of runs that weren't completed. We saw some crashes and a ton of runs that weren't clean. So I don't think there's any doubt that played into White's 2 runs. But everybody was under the same conditions. It's incredibly warm in Sochi, so there's some condensation issues on the pipe. And if you talk to the writers, as Austin Murphy did and some other reporters did, they didn't think the pipe was in great condition yesterday. So it's not one of the better, I think, half pipes in the world, and I think it affected everyone. So, to say that White lost because of that, I think, would be unfair, because I think everybody had to deal with the conditions, and that's sort of part of competition. Whether it's the half pipe or whether it's a football game, you have to deal with the elements, and you have to overcome the elements on that day.
Oh, hey there, SI fans. I was just reading my personalized thank you card from Kellen Lutz. You may know him from Twilight, the Hercules movie, and a former underwear model for Calvin Klein. So I got that going for me. Well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this clip from our daily live show, SI Now. You can find a link to the complete episode in the description box below. And while you're there, make sure you subscribe to Sports Illustrated's YouTube channel. Remember, you can watch SI Now Monday through Friday live at 1 p.m. Eastern Time on SI.com. I hope to see you there, maybe with Kellen Lutz.